Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf. Roger, request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. And 8 Plow, 7 November, say again. 7 November, go. I copied a while ago, 1 Charlie transmission that my thing used, and 8 5, this is 7 November, Charlie. Now 1 Charlie, 7 November, go.
This is 1 Charlie, in reference to your last, you're granted 158 extra 5 stars, 1200 between teams and local. Also request 3 units take outbound Nexus to see if we can try to get 59 and 8 for pause with the playground.
And this is 7 November, Roger, stand by.
Got that.
Got it? Alright. And all units, this is 7 November Golf, my unit Alpha, Echo, X-ray Alpha Alpha in there.
One Charlie, Alpha Bravo.
Hey, I never took a dip. I forgot to take a dip.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over.
This is Whiskey 9, go.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over.
This is Whiskey 9, go.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf. Roger, request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. And 8 Plow, 7 November, say again. 7 November, go.
All right, what's up, everybody? Another impromptu stream here. Had some time. Might as well knock that out. Everything is good. All right, everything's good. Yeah. Let me know if my audio is working. Kind of got this boom arm setup going on here. Had some time. Made some pizza rolls. This is my pre-dinner snack before the wife gets home. I have no idea how long I'm going to stream for, but I'll answer as many questions as I possibly can. All right, assuming my audio is good. All right, starting up at the top, CJ Jones says, what's up? He says, bro, what's up? Love the channel. I love you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, how's it going, Dave B? Thank you for commenting. I always love seeing your comments. Big Time says, can TMJ, GERD, migraines, ED be secondary to depression? Yes, they can. Generally speaking, you'll see GERD has a stronger tie to anxiety than it does depression. I'm not saying you can't connect it to depression. That's also not saying that your depression that doesn't also lead to anxiety. Migraines, yes. ED, yes. More so on the medication. But yes, absolutely. And same thing with the TMJ. Probably more closely associated with anxiety versus the depression. Yolanda, thank you very much. I always see you comment. I appreciate that. Love your beginning, Clay, veteran that watches our 6. Yes. Talking about my stream intro, if you want your picture in my stream as a part of the 3-minute countdown, just send it to me. I don't need context. I don't need anything. If you want your picture featured, let me know. All those veterans there, all the pictures you saw are from fans of the show and some of my deployment photos as well. Nick the Magnificent says, yo, what up? How's it going? Glenn Higgins, when putting in first-time claims, is it okay to and secondary claims to them at the same time. Don't want to lose the back pay. Yes, you absolutely can. When it comes to filing claims, even secondary, so you want to file claims, and you also want to file claims that are secondary to the ones you're filing. That's perfectly okay to do as long as you have the evidence. That's really the answer, and that goes for any claim. You're ready to submit when you have the evidence. In this case, you have to do a secondary to the initial claim. Big time. Have you ever heard of sleep apnea secondary to GERD? Yes. So it's the same system, right? GERD, GI, got it. Looking at IBS, looking at GI, there's probably anxiety in there as well, big time. If you're looking at sleep apnea and GERD, that's probably the much larger underlying issue. I want to ask if you have sort of anxiety service connected, or if you've been diagnosed, that might be the easier route to that. But to answer your question, yes. Samantha says, "Hi, what's up, Samantha? I'm glad I helped you the other day." Tech Wade says, "Coming in. All right, loud and clear. Awesome. Appreciate that." Government Lackey, I appreciate your comments too. I always see that. Thank you. Love your info and channel. Question, can you list some claims that you don't Nexus for? Like, what should you wait for the C&P? Yeah, so technically speaking, Lackey, you need a Nexus for every single claim. Now, what your question is really asking is, when do you go get a private medical opinion versus relying on the C&P examiner? And this is gonna get tons of different opinions on this. I'll give you mine. I would only recommend an independent medical opinion and a DBQ if, 1, you've been denied, and 2, you have the evidence for the provider to make that connection, to make the nexus in the first place. That's mainly when I will start recommending private medical opinions or private nexus letters versus doing another C&P exam. On that, there is one other time I might recommend it, and it's for certain conditions, like if you're going for depression secondary to back pain. I would probably recommend a nexus letter there because C&P examiners are reluctant. It almost seems like C&P examiners, once they see their service connection, it's like they get paid to say no. That's not the case. I'm just saying. That's what it seems like. Juan, welcome to the show. Thank you for that. Yolanda again. I'm glad my audio's good. Pizza rolls. Oh yeah, here we go. Mine are also baked in the oven. Yeah, they're at least made in the oven. You know, we made it in life, so now we eat pizza rolls in the oven. Big Bruiser says taking forever for the VA to add dependents. Yeah, that's actually, I've seen that many times. It's not just you. I've seen it at least 10 times this month of dependents taking a very long time to be added. I don't know why that is. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming. USMC Big B, I will email you back at some point. Gotta hammer out some stuff. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream today. Could be 10 minutes, could be an hour. Who knows? Big Time says, do you recommend, if out more than a year, submitting 1 or 2 or 3 fully developed claims at a time or all of them at once? Yeah, Big Time. Once you have the evidence. Now, these are fully developed claims. I'm assuming you have all the evidence. So once you have the evidence, submit those claims. If you don't have the evidence or you have the evidence for some but not all, then you can choose to either submit those claims you have evidence for or just wait it out because you have the intent to file. Assuming you have an intent to file, wait it out till you gather that evidence. That's what the intent to file is there for. It's to give the veteran time to gather the evidence to submit to the VA. Keith, my man, what's up? Appreciate it. Jody, thank you very much. I always see you and Keith. That definitely. Jamie says, called the VA 800 number, asked them if they have my in-service medical records, and they do. And I was told I can retrieve them. Retrieve my service room records, so I'll be going to Camp Pendleton. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. I'm assuming you haven't left service or you've been out of service not for that long, or at least within the last 5 years. Yeah, get those in person. Be ready to purchase a disc reader. All right. I'm gonna be snacking on my pizza rolls, so please please excuse me here. I'll kind of back up from the mic. Let's see. Yeah. So specifically with the guard reserves, you don't. Depending on how severe your mental health is, that can be waived. Now, we're talking about 100% mental health. That's not going to be um, that's not going to be possible. Okay. But you're looking at like 70%, 50%, absolutely possible. There's really nothing to be worried about. You'll still, depending on the gap in service, you may go through MEPS, and then they'll take care of that. That's about it. Absolutely. All right, we have our first donation from the Teacher's Disciple. Thank you. I appreciate it. All donations from the stream go right back to the channel just to keep the stream up, keep StreamYard up, keep Google Meets or the Gmails up, all that stuff. I definitely appreciate that. Oh, I will get to yours in a second. Let's go back up to the top. Matt says, "Hi, Clay. Can I claim secondary to depression and anxiety due to tinnitus?" Thank you, brother. Yes, you can. It's more so anxiety to tinnitus. That's a stronger connection there. But yes, assuming you have the diagnosis for anxiety, then assuming the C&P examiner makes the Nexus, you can absolutely make your claim for anxiety secondary to tinnitus. If you are denied, firmly believe your anxiety comes from your tinnitus, that's when you might want to start considering a medical opinion. From 2011, no, I have not, Jamie, at all. You might want to call Pendleton. I think you said Pendleton. You might want to call Pendleton just to make sure before you make that drive. I'm not sure how far away that is for you. If you do get them, I want to know. I would definitely like to spread that information. It's also probably by hospital too. Maybe they have their own internal policies on how long they keep records. I'm not sure. Chief M says, "Hey Clay, what's up? Got to order 100% PNT." Boom! There we go. Congrats to you. On Friday, the VA made my award date the date you filed your supplemental, which is January, so not the original date of July. You can disagree with that effective date decision. That's one of the if the VA gets anything wrong, it's definitely the effective date a lot of the time. So you can disagree with that. I would really look at your evidence and kind of put it on a timeline as to why they chose January to begin with. And if you look at the evidence and you still believe it should be 1 July, then absolutely that's what I would pursue, especially at 100%. I'm not sure what rating you came from, but regardless, that's a what 6 months of back pay. It'd be worth it. Even from 90 to 100, it'd be worth it. Juan Rivera says, "Is it possible to get migraine secondary PTSD?" Yes, it is. Looking at PTSD, you're going to want a psychiatrist for that secondary versus like a psychologist because we are talking about PTSD instead of anxiety or depression. It's a little bit different. But yes, you can. I hope you can't hear my chewing. That would suck. But I'm hungry. Okay. What does regulatory for procedural review mean? I got that and been seeing that a lot with other procedural review. It almost sounds like a routine exam, but I want to be 100% certain before I answer that. Oh no. No. Okay. So there's a think about it like an internal messaging system with the VA. And so you'll see um your claim requires a DBQ or an opinion. You'll see on event benefits, you'll see a note there. It'll say something like, DBQ required, something of that sort. And if it's not, it'll say not required. Basically, it's just moving through the process. Really, it means nothing to you at all. I would actually advise all veterans to not check the status of their claim every day because that will do nothing but drive anxiety through the absolute roof. So relax. It'll get done when it gets done. Robert says, "Gonna be hitting you up pretty soon. So glad you're here." Hey, send me your questions now, especially if answer them on live. You'll get a much faster response. I can tell you that. Like, I did answer a decent amount of emails. We're at 100 something. Right now, I am at 55. So I definitely answered almost 50 emails this morning, which is a lot. Omar says, "What's up? How's it going? Hey, bro, still waiting for you to respond to my email." You are. Send me that again, please, especially because I just see your, um I'm actually going to I don't remember your email name. Here it is, I got it. Oh, yeah, 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 okay, I thought I sent this to you know what? I'll just go ahead and do this just to make sure. If I didn't send this to you, I totally forgot, but I'm gonna do it right now, it won't take that long at all. You can put it in my name. Also, if this is what you're referring to, thank you very much. I will definitely have a drink at some point and let everyone know. Appreciate that. Alright, there you go. Let me know if that's the email you're talking about. If not, just resend what you are talking about, and then we'll cross that bridge. Right next to GERD, IPS secondary. Yes, you can. Now, real quick, just to address this, Dr. Sharma is not taking any new clients now, but if you want to, send me an email. Let me know you want to contact Dr. Sharma. I will save your email, and then whenever he catches up, add I would go to say that I don't think he was ready for the amount of veterans that needed his services, which is a good problem to have, and he was kinda overloaded, so he's taking a break from new clients, catching up on all his, people that have already reached out to him, and whenever he's ready, he'll let me know. It should be soon, so send me an email, I'll add you to my list, and then we can cross that bridge when we get there. Oh, yeah. Exactly what Lucky said. FOIAs take an absolute long time with the VA. Okay. Hey, Clay, 20% service connected on my left shoulder. Now my right shoulder's torn. Bilateral claim. If it's service connected, you'll get a bilateral factor. Yes, and yes, you can claim it secondary. You will need a strong opinion. I wouldn't recommend reaching out for an independent opinion just yet. I would actually submit that claim as is, let your evidence speak for itself, and then hopefully the C&P examiner makes that opinion. If you're denied, let me know and we'll cross that bridge. And we have to figure out if that claim would be worth it. Okay, one, would it increase your overall rating? There's some other factors to consider there. If it doesn't increase your overall rating, it's not even worth fighting for, especially if you're going to be looking at an independent opinion. All right, who else getting a C&P exam? No physical exams. Third one denied my claim that way so far. What was the telehealth exam? I'm gonna call you Goldmain. What was the telehealth exam? Was it mental health that you were denied? Were you just not given an exam? Was it an ACE exam? So for what condition? Dan Mac, have my DBQ initial appointment tomorrow. Any advice? Yeah, I assume you mean, you got a private DBQ? Dan, let me know what the condition is for, and then we can talk about that a bit more. Um, as far as general advice, be open, be honest, be vulnerable. That about sums it up, but I'll give you better advice than that. Just let me know what condition it's for, and if we're talking about private DBQ or a C&P exam. Matthew says, "Just You were on hypothyroid. Yeah, I answered that email, I believe, assuming or not the email, the question. Yes, it can be. Okay, it can be. I do think it's difficult to prove. You would need an opinion connecting that to your exposure to burn pits. But assuming that happens and, assuming you have passed that criteria, then that answer is yes. How to make it easier for a rater to pick and rate claims quickly? They're under performance quotas, I heard. Yeah, don't sweat the performance quotas. I will tell you this big time, the mindset every veteran should have when submitting claims is make it easy for the rater to make a decision. Meaning submit all the evidence you could ever need, ever want, like a claim, and kind of force their hand to granting award. Because if they're if they're gonna use policy 38 CFR against us, we need to use 38 CFR for us to kind of force them to make this decision. The answers are solid, you have a current diagnosis, and you have an opinion. Alright. Holy bananas. HVAC Mike, I appreciate that. He says, "Just received my increase last week thanks to this man." I appreciate it more than you could ever know. That's awesome. I'm glad you were increased. Um, this is great news, man. News. Alright, teacher disciple, I see your response there. Awesome. Thank you. Alright, HVAC Mike, I'm glad that you got your increase. It's awesome. Definitely makes my day. Anytime I see that I genuinely help people, it makes my day. The donations, all donations go back to the channel. I feel weird every time they pop up, but I definitely love it. Okay. Oh yeah, like the stream, please. Thank you. Let me scroll back up to where we were at, which is TR. All right. TR, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really understand your question here. I think what you're asking is what do you do between your G214s of going to guard, reserve, active, and then coming off? I think that's what you're asking. If that's the case, how I'm gonna answer that is when you're on active, seek the care you need, make sure you get your D214s, your LODs, and, if anything happens when you're out of service, make sure that's documented as well and kinda keep those separate. You don't want to, in my experience, looking at reservists and guard is something will happen when they are a civilian and they're trying to push that to be connected to military, and it's not. Um, and so you're gonna need evidence that shows that it is, basically. Okay. Tickle's channel, that's hilarious. Benefits to being out of Army for under a year. Yeah, what's your disability rating? That's the benefit. Let me know what you're rated for if you submitted any claims, and then we can go ahead and cross that bridge. Alright, Samantha says, "I'm trying to claim anxiety secondary to pain for my lower back, but I might have had it before my back injury. I didn't have it before I joined. My back definitely makes my anxiety worse. Should I continue to secondary or switch it to primary?" It sounds like your evidence suggests it's secondary, Samantha. If you have an in-service event talking about mental health or anxiety, depression, any of that, meaning you have a complaint from service, then I would go direct. I'm assuming you don't. In that case, go secondary, but if you do, then absolutely go direct. That would be the factor, the determining factor, at least in my mind, that, you want to go direct. Definitely hit the like button. Please share. Please like. I definitely appreciate that. The more people that know about this, the more people that get helped. We got a lot of guard reserve questions today. Okay. No. No, the time is gonna be whenever you're on active duty. Whenever you're on active orders, that's the time. Okay. 2 more. All right, let's look at Samantha. Thank you for all the information and the help you provide to your brothers and sisters. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Samantha. I hope our meeting helped you, and I'm definitely looking forward to the decision on your claim. We have another one, and I don't even know what to say. This is weird. Scott, thank you very much. I see all your emails. We've been going back and forth for a while now. Tons of activity there in the emails. I appreciate that. If you comment, I'll definitely get down to it. Whatever you need, Scott, you'll let me know. But I definitely appreciate that, brother. I believe you are in the Philippines. I believe that's you. If so, no one. I'll tell you this. Scott's in the Philippines. No one is grinding harder than Scott is for disability because there are other hurdles that he has to go through just to get seen by VA healthcare. It's definitely not easy. So Scott's definitely grinding that wheel, and you're doing a really good job, by the way. If it wasn't for your drive, you definitely wouldn't be service connected for anything. Like I can tell you that for sure. Oh yeah, Jamie. Well, 6 hours. That is a far drive. If you do get it, definitely let me know. Um, and well, I guess you could definitely. I mean, I could call Quantico. I'm not that far from there. But yeah, definitely let me know. Anyone know if you have presumptive sinusitis? VA claim rate at 30, migraine or headache? Yeah. So it can go one of two ways. One, um, assuming every single migraine. That's why my wife texted me. Okay. Um, assuming every single migraine you have is a result of your sinusitis, you'll see things like sinusitis with migraines, and then probably like a 50% rating for that. It can be two separate ratings. It depends if the VA, if the examiner can differentiate those. Tons of things. But to be honest with you, file the claim. What's the worst thing that could happen? But the bad answer is yes and no, I guess. Orange. Wow, dude. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yep, Scott's in the Philippines. Orange. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. I'm really grasping onto I've been helping Orange for a while now. Almost actually Orange is day one when I first started this thing. We've been going back and forth, waiting on one claim to come back. Orange, I'm hoping the best. And depending on what happens, we'll cross that road together. I appreciate that. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. I'm gonna eat the pizza roll. Thanks. Hey Scott, if you are in the chat still, can C&P exams be done in the Philippines? The capacity is very, very little. To the point where people abroad, veterans abroad, are forced to go to the VA for DBQs, IMOs, and things like that. Is the auto going in and out? I hope not. When I'm chewing, I try to do this away from the mic. But I hope not. I got this new setup boom arm looking thing. Look at this. Thing's rad. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, let me know if the audio's going in and out. All right. If we receive C&P exam via AC, can we request to have it done at a local VA? Is there a benefit? No, no, you can't. So the reason it's not at a local VA is because of the capacity. The VA is already struggling. They're already behind. Absolutely, doing C&P exams, which is why the contract supplements that ability. So there's QTC, VES, and LHI, or often serve, and that's where you'll see C&P exams go. Just had a fibro increase C&P off Thursday. Doctor said fibro is bullshit, and I probably have something else. I don't know if that's good or bad, to be honest with you. Alright, audio's good, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Gavin, I don't know if that's good or bad. How did it there's definitely some context missing from that. I don't know. I always see your comments, thank you very much, I appreciate that. Can I use a doctor diagnosis from Philippines for a claim? Absolutely. Absolutely, you can. LG says, "Bro, Clay, how's it going?" Chilling, dude. Eating some pizza rolls here. Trying to. I got a Coke here. Just got off of work. You can't see my daughter's watching Coco Melon over there. We're chilling. Sent you an email today, just trying to figure out the right move. Awesome. I will definitely get to that. As soon as I can. Big B, I see your email. And I accidentally texted my wife's boss. Okay. Whew, that's hilarious. More to follow on that story. All right. Gavin says, I already have 20% fibro. Get 40 with a doc focused on problem solving my symptoms. It's not what I expected. See, that's weird because the C&P examiner is required to fulfill the VA's request. That probably wasn't in the VA's request. Now, they are going to fulfill that request and give their own opinion, but the VA will definitely get the answers that they asked for. So, Gavin, I really wouldn't sweat that too hard. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. We can get back on track here. Yeah, so I texted my wife's boss. I was actually supposed to text someone else. And I texted her boss on accident, which is kind of funny. What is the quickest way to get medical records from VA without FOIA? There's no quicker way. You have to do a FOIA request. It's definitely an outdated system. It sucks. I know. Um, that's just the way it is. Use some CPP. I just saw your email. We'll get to that. HVAC Mike again, thank you. If ACE exam can remove requests. Okay, that's what you meant to say. The answer is no. Again, depends on what it's for, big time. Let me know what that ACE is for. We're talking like ED, pretty standard. If you already have all the evidence and they're just gonna review the evidence, pretty standard. Looking at automatic denials, not all the time. It's usually because you had absolutely zero evidence. No diagnosis, no anything, no in-service events, nothing. Usually, I'm not saying that's the case here, but usually that's why. What the fuck? I think that's the first F-bomb I dropped on stream. I don't even know what to say. Just for what we spoke about, not for the channel, but for you. I appreciate that. Wild. Teacher disciple, you have the highest record for donations right now. I don't even know what to say. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. My wife will definitely appreciate that. That's insane, dude. I'm speechless. What do you say? All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that for all. I'm not gonna cry. Okay. That's a great question. I'll tell you my personal, if I were to get a medical opinion today, if I had to for some reason, I would probably not pay more than 8 to $900, probably. I tell you, I definitely wouldn't pay 2 grand. I know there are some physicians out there charging 2 grand, and I think that's absolutely insane. You can find physicians and board certified psychiatrists, neurologists, oncologists, whoever you need for less than $1,000. The ones that are charging that high are the ones that are really popular, that have the money to market, okay? Or they're in bed with companies like VA Claims, Insider, Vet Guardian, stuff like that. But definitely not 2 grand, okay? I'd say 8 to $900 probably. And second on that top of that, I would only consider that if I knew for certain, 1, I had the evidence, and 2, whatever rating I was gonna get is gonna make the increase worth it, right? So you go from, like, 10 to 20, that might not be worth it, okay? You're gonna get tons of opinions on that. Alright, TR says, "Are there databases, tied conditions, from votes with JP?" I don't know about databases, but there are known ships that have exposures. That's really out of my lane, and I would be giving you bad advice if I talked about it, but I know, there are some ships that are known to have, like, asbestos exposure and stuff like that. That's really where you'll see statements come into play as well. So if you were in the '80s or '90s, you can absolutely, get statements and kind of support your claim with that. "Yeah, Max, sorry, brother. It was a right shoulder labrum tear and hernia. The VA has me going to a private company to get my initial exam. I filled out DBQs to explain therapy issues." Yeah, awesome. Wanda Davis, 94%, almost there, but I haven't claimed my diabetes yet. Should it be secondary hypertension or just no, I would go secondaries. Your hypertension is 20%. That is very severe, okay? The most common rating is 0, and then the next common rating is 10. I've actually never seen someone with a 20% or higher rating for that. I think you have a very strong argument. I would definitely submit that claim. What happens if you filed a FTC? Oh, sorry. What happens if you filed an FTC, but need to turn in a DBQ? Can you just take the DBQ with you to C&P? Yeah, so if one, a f a truly fully developed claim, a true fully developed claim, you're gonna have all your in-service evidence, right? Complaints from service, events, documents, whatever. You're gonna have a current diagnosis for that condition. You're gonna have an independent medical opinion, and along with that is gonna be a DBQ, and the DBQ looks at the severity of your symptoms, and is generally required by the VA for disability ratings. That's what a fully developed claim is. And so you submitted almost an FTC, right? And now it's just a standard claim, not a big deal if the stuff happens in the background. Um, but if you have a DBQ that's filled out from a provider, like a doctor, nurse practitioner, or anyone, I would upload it via Quick Submit, make sure the VA has it, and then you could bring it to the C&P exam. You're gonna wanna feel that out. Some examiners will take that and look at it. Some examiners will kinda take offense to it. It's definitely a personality thing. That's not the best answer for you, but I guess the best answer is upload it via Quick Submit. Alright, Samantha, again, thank you very much. I appreciate that. PR, I'll email you prior questions. I'm in a union. Send me an email, and I will definitely answer your questions. Okay. Antonio Gonzalez says, "Denied tinnitus, that it's storm vet gunner. Wonder why it was denied." Send send me the decision letter. It sounds like a pretty easy claim. The issue is it was a long time ago. That's the issue. Lackey says, "Last for me. You can ask all the questions you want. That's what I'm here for." Had an intent to file on May 23, May of this year. Went in last week to make some changes. Today got an email from VA that I have a claim waiting to submit August 2023 to ETF. That makes me think they're just emailing you about the Pact Act deadline. I probably wouldn't put that too much. You can go to va.gov and look at filing a claim online. It'll tell you what your intent to file date is, and it should be this year. Scott, again, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I've been to the Philippines twice, Scott. It's hot. I actually have a Philippine Marine tank top with some mesh stuff. It's a little weird. But yeah, we did the hand-to-hand knife combat in jungle for training in the Philippines. It was miserable. All right. Hi, Clay. My husband's filing his first claim for chronic rhinitis as a presumptive. He's also filing sleep apnea as a secondary. How do readers know it's secondary? Yeah, so there is a secondary claim that you do. I'm actually going to get my wireless keyboard out. I'm going to link a video down in the description for you or down in the comments, so then you can submit a secondary claim. If you're going to a VSO, don't worry about it. They'll take care of it. If you're not, which I assume you're not because you're asking me, how to upload supplemental. Here we go. Secondaries. Share this bad boy. Here we go. How to submit a secondary claim right there. It is wild. I just looked on YouTube to see the donations, and I can see it all. It's absolutely, I don't even know what to say. It's insane. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. The goal was to make it this far, but it just kind of happened, and now I'm in it. Everett Robinson says, "Hi, Clayton. What's up? Would the VA discard lay statements if it's in a Word document instead of no, they won't. Not a big deal. Personally, I would have just used the 10-2-10. But if you don't, it's not a big deal at all. It can be handwritten. That I don't recommend, just because handwriting sucks. But don't worry about it. How do you apply for helpless child benefits not on your claim? I don't even know. Make sure my daughter's okay. For each helpless child over 18. Send me an email because I don't want to give you a wrong answer, but it looks like DIC benefits. I'm going to look into this. Send me an email. I appreciate it. HVAC Mike forgot to mention, still waiting on my decision for ED. HVAC, I'm sure to come back positive. I appreciate that from earlier, by the way. But yeah. Audio's gapping. I'm in Ohio. Audio's good. Oh no. Oh no. Can you claim a secondary off another secondary? Yes, that's the short answer. Yes, you can. So tinnitus, anxiety, secondary to tinnitus, GERD, secondary to anxiety. Yes, you can. IBS, secondary to GERD. Inception. Jacob Johnson says, "Hey Clay, I have service-connected right knee. 10%. I was denied left knee due to surgery prior to service. Resubmitting a claim for my left knee worsening, would it be a secondary or appeal? Your left knee was denied. It was going to be an appeal, a supplemental appeal. You have to upload new and relevant evidence for whatever it is you want to claim. And in this case, it's your left knee. Just booted LHI 3 months ago. TBD. Yeah, send me an email, TR. Tons of question. Emily says, I had my informal conference today while having my service-connected migraines during the call. HLR rater seemed super sympathetic. They said it would take 1 to 2 weeks. And seemed to agree. That's good news. Is this it sounds like good news, okay? It sucks that you had a migraine during the call, but it sounds like they said it would take 1 to 2 weeks and seem to agree. Yeah, sounds like good news. I wonder if the mic's cutting in and out because I'm eating. That answer is no. When you submit a BDD, you agree to be available for your C&P exam within the next 45 days or whatever it is. So the answer is no. When you say OCO, I think you mean Oconus, I think. If that's the case, that answer is absolutely no. If you appeal and lose, can you resubmit a claim on same issues? Yes, you can with a supplemental or a higher level review or the board. But it's probably going to be a supplemental, and you're going to need to upload new and relevant evidence. And it has to combat new and relevant, meaning it has to combat the reason for denial. And so if you're denied because there's no in-service events, you need to provide in-service events. If you were denied because of Nexus, you got to provide the Nexus. Can I ask you for help in private for helping with the claim? Absolutely. Send me an email. Just on the stream alone, I was at 55, and now I'm at 69. So yeah, my email's popping. I try to answer emails all day, every day. Do what I can. Again, speechless. Absolutely speechless. Speaking of that, we have another one. Ed Garcia. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the information. Can a sworn statement be used as proof for the weight loss due to GERD, since my original weight for the GERD isn't documented in a medical record? I think you used the word proof. It depends how you define proof. Let's talk about hard medical evidence. That answer is no, right? Now, if that statement came from a medical provider, that's a bit different. But we're talking about a sworn statement from a spouse or your friend. It's just a statement. That would imply that there's other statements that aren't true. As far as hardcore proof, that answer is going to be no. That doesn't mean to say that your statement's worthless. It's absolutely not worthless. It does support your claim. It is definitely not going to be proof. It's not going to act in lieu of. All right. Goldmain says, my left wrist was diagnosed with a cyst and arthritis. I didn't write a personal statement, and my family doctor is the one who filled out the DBQs. He didn't write a Nexus IMO. Said he would now. Yeah, I don't know what the question is there, but you have a diagnosis on your wrist. You have a medical opinion. You want your provider to do a DBQ. That's fine. Okay. You can add a personal statement to that. In this case, I think it's pretty clear cut. The risk is going to be based off a range of motion anyways. There's really no personal statement that can be used for the symptoms at least. Now, as far as what caused it, that's a bit different. It depends. New subscriber. Glad I found. I'm glad that new Fat Boy Fitness. I like her name. It's hilarious. Welcome to the channel. I hope this helps you as I eat my pizza rolls. Samantha, you absolutely can. You don't even have to ask. You absolutely can. Yep, it's a perfect example of that ship, specifically looking at asbestos, and they sank it. What are disabilities, diabetes secondary to? What disabilities can diabetes cause, or what disabilities is diabetes secondary to? I think that's your question. There's a ton. Hypertension for one. Um, you could argue weight gain. There's definitely a ton. Next Level Cash, big time now. Congrats on channel growth. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, my 1 year was August 5th. We are currently at 12.9, 12,900 subs in about a year. Super grateful on growing the channel, and I really plan on preaching the don't go to for-profit companies, don't pay for memberships. Don't make no sense at all. What do you do if you have a 10-minute mental health C&P exam? Yeah, there's nothing you can do. It depends what your evidence is too, right? So let's say you submitted all this evidence, and the VA has itty bitty gap, okay? The C&P examiner is only gonna find out that gap because that's what the VA required them to do. Now, there's the other side of that is you didn't really have evidence and the C&P examiner just sucked. That definitely sucks. If that's the case, I would go ahead and call the VA, let them know, write a personal statement, and submit that submit that via quick submit. Make sure the VA gets it, and then call the VA. Just let them know exactly what happened. So it depends on kind of which end of the spectrum you fall on. You can also call the company. So let's say QTC did the exam, you went to the examiner sucked. You can call QTC, and they can kind of handle it in-house prior to going to the VA, or both at the same time. I'm going for third C&P for aggravation on flat feet. What do you think of that? All within a year. I think that's absolutely insane. I wanna know, why didn't the first C&P exam work? Why didn't the second one work? What's going on there? Goldman, it's possible. You are gonna need a strong opinion from a C&P examiner to make that happen, but it's definitely possible. When are you writing a book on a VA claims process? Probably never. I'm not a book person. I read, okay? Speaking of books, well, you can't really see them. My mic's in the way. I'll show you my favorite book. Completely unrelated to what we're talking about right here. My dang light. It says The Unexpected, George Washington. Hands down my favorite book. If you haven't read it, you definitely should. As far as writing a VA claims book, that's just not my style. Now, what I thought about doing is one of my recent videos. Um, I share the Google Doc about the template, which is awesome in my opinion. I think it's great, and I can add to it. I do want to create more Google Docs that anyone can access and download and use, and then over time, that would be bigger than what it is now, right? I think that's what I'm probably going to do here soon, is make a bunch of templates and just kind of go with that. And then I guess if we want to just put them on a big PDF and call that a book, that's fine with me too. But it'll be free. It'll be free. Imagine selling a book that you can Google. It's wild. Okay. That, I mean, no shade there. I'm sorry. Okay. How would I go about filing some claims on a TERA for diagnosis related to exposure? Yeah, John, you don't. You just file the VA will take care of VA policy stuff. So there is no Pact Act claim or TERA claim. It's just a claim, right? If you have toxic exposure, they will look at that in the decision letter. It will tell you exactly that they consider TERA, and they'll go from there. Railroad man says just got the phone with Vera. They pinged the VA to look at the development letter that was submitted over a month ago. Awesome. Good on you for keeping on tabs with that. Sent an email. Love the content getting out in March. Hey, what's up? Congrats to you on your new chapter of your life. I will get to that email. I'm probably gonna make an updated BDD claim video, make it more thorough, and probably start at a year out versus the BDD claim process. So stay on the lookout for that. Thing that sucks about BDD is it only applies to a very small percentage of veterans. obviously, because you have to be active duty. Mm, that was a little hot. Like he says, good luck all. Have an apnea claim and supplemental with HLR. Okay, duty to assist. Yeah, that's wild, like him. Sorry about that. 5 months is a long time, especially after duty to assist there. Thank you, Clay. My last question. You ask as many questions as you want. That's fine. So I can't file both conditions in the same claim. You can. I forgot what we were talking about, but that answer is yes. Well, the answer is as long as you have the evidence, you can absolutely submit that. Here it is. My husband filing his first claim for chronic rhinitis as presumptive. He's also filing sleep apnea. How do raters know it's secondary? Yeah, so on that video, I'm gonna link another video too. That one only talks about secondaries, but on that same form, you can also do a initial claim. So you can claim rhinitis in the same one, and then claim, sleep apnea secondary to that. Let me just go ahead and navigate to this playlist here, and I'm gonna share this one with you as well. So you have both. Boom shakalaka. There we go. Alright, Seymour. Why is nobody talking about the quotas being set out VA raters? I can make a video on that. I'll have to really get down to it. There's some points of I have some friends, that I want to pull information from. They choose to remain anonymous for obvious reasons, but I wanna get information from them prior to just spewing out, stuff. But yeah. Ed Garcia, thank you again. I appreciate that. Know somebody who had evidence uploaded not listed as reviewed, got their evidence clearly not reviewed. Oh, yeah, it definitely sucks when you submit a DBQ or an IMO and the VA doesn't review that evidence. A few factors that go into that. It's not necessarily quotas all the time, um, but it definitely depends. Not saying it's not either. It very well could be. Dude, assuming you're not trolling me, hit me up. Send me an email, TheCivDiv@gmail.com. You can interview me. It's fine. I hope it was a school project. I'm down for that. Yeah, Seymour, that's a great point. I will make a video on that. I wanna get some information lined up prior to doing that, but I will add that to my list. There's another Rob Veterans Company in Virginia Beach called Seven Principles Group. Yeah, Orange, that's the thing. There's a symptom of not pursuing criminal penalties for these companies that are obviously insane, um, is more is gonna pop up, right? Look, I could make CivDiv right now. We could incorporate, and I could become a claims coach and start charging 6 times the increase right now. It's that easy to do. Anyone can do it. Anyone here watching the stream can literally just take my videos and then spew the same information and then become a claims coach. It's insane. If that problem's not fixed, it will definitely grow, and there will be more companies just like those that are targeting vulnerable veterans, in my opinion. Okay. They didn't look at all the evidence, including my service academics plus complaint C&P exam. Yeah, Derek, it sounds like a higher level review then. Oh, we're talking about your C&P exam with your flat feet. Okay, let me read that again. It could be a few factors, okay? The C&P examiner could have failed twice, so it's a bit wild. It could be a result of the VA not requesting everything they needed. Could be a combination of both. Could be a few other things. It just depends. Yeah, LG. So that's within the respiratory system. Generally, that's a stronger claim than, for instance, PTSD. I would go to a physician and talk about your rhinitis and talk about sleep apnea and go that route. But yeah, that's my advice. Okay. Pat Brown, what up? Hey Clay, submitted my claim in early April. Sent the files October, last October, a good chunk of back pay for an increase in migraines and Pact Act. Have yet to get a CPAP scheduled. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. C&P scheduled. Should I contact Vera again? You could if you wanted to. There's a huge backlog in claims right now. I hate that's the answer that I'm gonna give you. There's a huge backlog, and it sucks. But yeah, you can if you want to. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Can a VSO get a copy of C&P exam results? As long as they have VBMS access, they can. Technically speaking, they're not supposed to share that with you, um, but it's really not that big of a deal. Depends on how overloaded your VSO is too, and so if they have appointments at the wazoo, do they really have time to look at C&P exam results? That's another bridge to cross. But yes, that answer is as long as we have VBMS access. What if we, patriots, can get yeah, I don't know. That's probably not gonna happen. Policy stuff's really over my head. Hi, new to the channel. What up? How's it going? If you can hear my daughter, let me know. She's being loud. Should I use a Nexus on PFB claim that I incurred in service? One, you give me a second. Oh, pseudo barbe. Okay. No, not at all. Especially if you have it. If you have a complaint in service, absolutely not. It's a relatively easy claim. Now the question is, what's your current diagnosis? Do you currently have pseudo barbe on your face? What's that look like? Most skin conditions are 0%. Man, I love Satina. Right here. Here we go. Getting a little cold though. Yeah. Assuming you use the VSO, you can go through them. You can do a FOIA on that exam only. That's probably the fastest way. I would look for it. Can I explain this? Let's go check it out. Hypothyroid. Okay, Google's our friend here. What did that say? Residuals. I'll look at residuals. Okay, let me share my. I just realized I'm not sharing my screen. Let me go ahead and share that. Make sure we're the same thing. Make it bigger here. Get this out of the way. All right, we're looking at hypothyroidism. Here we go. 7903 hypothyroidism. These are just notes here. More notes. 6 months. This eval shall continue for 6 months. Thereafter, residuals of disease or medical treatment under the most appropriate codes. Yeah, so it doesn't say anything about going to 0 at all. It just says, I'm going to highlight it for you, under the appropriate body system. If that's digestive, mental, depends. Let's just assume it's mental. That means it would be under the general rating for mental health. Well, 38 CFR, ECFR, depends how it's rated. So basically, they're just saying they're going to rate it. They're going to rate it differently, and then go from there. And then you can see how mental health is rated. Hope that answers your question. Let me know. It definitely doesn't say go straight to 0. That's not a thing. Can Space Force file VA claims? Yes, they absolutely can. I'm trying to get back to where I was. No, that's fake news. So there is a list, magical list. It's an Excel sheet. I have a good source that says that list is baloney. It's also extremely outdated. So Del K. Graham, prior to them being accredited, they're on that list as well. They've been accredited 2018, I believe. Don't quote me on that. So that list is at least older than that. It's not updated. It's baloney. And we have another donation. I don't know what's up with the high donations today. You're gonna make me cry on camera, maybe. I don't know. I appreciate that, Jen. Let me see if you have a question. If you have a question, Jim, definitely throw it down in the chat. I want to help you in any way I possibly can. I will tell you this. My wife's boss just emailed me back. For some reason, I got tons of emails today talking about increases. I think 3 or 4 people got 100% today, well, this week at least. So good news, man. Good. Today is just a good day. Um, Here we are. Okay. TR, send me an email. There's a lot of I have tons of questions for all your comments. Okay. Are there doctors that write Nexus and IMOs or blacklisted? No, they're not. We just answered that. Dentists or Jada? If something were declined, I want to say denied or deferred, not really declined, but let's just say denied, and you never appealed, but years later you decide to refile, gets approved based on the same documentation. No, you can't. The simple answer is no. The only time you'll get back pay for an appeal is if it's within that 1-year time frame. All right. So HL, higher level review, supplemental appeal, or you start the Board of Veterans Appeals within that 1-year time frame, that's when you get back pay. Unless you can prove there was a clear, unmistakable error or a CUE. It's very, very hard to do. It's definitely not common. I'm in the same boat, Matt F. Okay, about the hypothyroidism. Yep. So I just showed the 38 CFR for that. Can Space Force claim VA claims? Absolutely. They are in the Air Force, by the way. I teach a bunch of Space Force people in my real job. I'm around them a lot. Very smart. Okay. NO says, hey, Clay, quick question. Had cancer, Pact Act claim. They took my spleen and pancreas. Will they back pay for that even though? No, not at all. You only get back pay. I'm actually gonna link another video I just posted on Del K. Graham's channel talking about back pay for VA claim. I actually think you commented on that one. Facts and myths, Pact Act. Here we go. So this video will answer if you get back pay for Pact Act in your situation. I answer them. And again, thank you very much. If you have a question, please throw it down in the chat. Appreciate that. What's up? Are you finished? Nope, I'm streaming right now. Why don't you come say hi? No, thank you. All right, she doesn't want to say hi. Okay. It's the R dude killing me. Okay. I sent the email with the questions. Okay. I will answer your email once I can. My email right now was at 69. Now it's at 72. So I will get to it. Knee condition ratings continued when filed for increase, but was awarded 100% P&D for other increases, but they changed the effective date of my knee condition to new claim. Closing date, should I challenge the okay, I see. I didn't see the second comment. Okay, let me read this again. I'm reading these 2 comments. Knee condition rating continued when filed for increase, but was awarded 100% P&T for other increases. Did you submit claims for the other increases? I mean, I assume the VA just didn't increase them on their own. Knee condition to a new claim, closing date down. Send me an email, Vaughn on the Moon. Send me an email. I'm gonna need a timeline of events here. I wanna know everything your service connected for, what you increased when your intent to file was, and then I'm probably gonna see the decision letters for that to actually give you solid advice, on whether or not you should challenge that effective date. Effective dates are something the VA gets wrong all the time, so I wanna say yes naturally, but prior to saying that, I wanna look at all the evidence. Stephen Gage says, "Had diagnosis for chronic rhinitis, secondary to sleep apnea. Had sleep study for Nexus from VA sleep doctor. Also had Nexus from private doctor and was denied because I had no diagnosis in Nexus." It sounds like a very clear HLR. I wanna know if your opinions were reviewed as evidence in your decision letter, but you have a diagnosis of rhinitis. The diagnosis isn't rhinitis secondary to sleep apnea, it's just rhinitis. So you have a diagnosis for rhinitis. I wanna know if you're eligible for Pact Act, if you meet the time criteria. If that's the case, let me know. Um, okay. Another, donation, Eli, thank you very much. I appreciate that. With the super sticker, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much. I believe I answered your email today too. It all just kind of forms into one big oh, you have okay, I see that now. You have a diagnosis for sleep apnea. Okay. Let me reread what you said. Had diagnosis for sleep apnea, had sleep study and Nexus from VA. Yeah, so I'm assuming because you're in chat right now, there's not that many people here. Go ahead and answer this question. Um, deny Nexus. Is your sleep did you try to go sleep apnea direct to service? If that's the case, I could see why it's denied even with an opinion. Because basically you had a sleep study in service or you didn't. That's pretty much gonna determine if you go direct or secondary. I think you're going secondary to rhinitis. If that's the case, I think I would do a higher level review. Now there are some questions on that because you have a VA sleep doctor, that did that. We talk like, what kind of profession are we talking about? We're talking physician, nurse practitioner? What does that look like? And then you say you have a private doctor. What's that private doctor? Are they a physician, NP, PA? What does that look like? So a few questions there, and if you have time. No secondaries. Yeah, and it's an NP. Yeah, yeah. So basically, um, yeah, sleep apnea direct is not possible, okay? It's not possible unless you have some serious hardcore medical evidence and service. That's just it. You're gonna have to go secondary route. I wanna know what primary service-connected conditions you have. So is it PTSD? Do you have sinusitis? Do you have asthma? Do you have something that can correlate to sleep apnea? Obesity. If you're obesity recognized by the VA. All of those would be solid secondary, or primary disabilities for secondary sleep apnea. The direct claim isn't gonna happen unless you had a sleep study in service, which I'm assuming you did not because you got medical opinions. Alright, Balkans, Kosovo, okay. HPT boy 41, what up? Have gotten denied for optic neuritis 2 years ago, less likely caused by military and blame it on my MS. I recently got service connected for MS. You can claim it, absolutely. It'd be a supplemental appeal, secondary, yes. See an email back with all the questions, answer for the late response. It's alright, no big deal, I will get to it. I have tons of emails, and as we sit here right now, I have tons of other emails. Okay, sorry. Jim Road, thank you again, I appreciate that. Braden PV House says, "Also, could you tell me your name and position in your military?" As I need that too, and I forgot to put in the email. You need my name and position? Oh, because 'cause you're the ninth grader that wants, I have you know what? I will do this now because I will forget. Um, so just to get everyone up to speed, this person here is in high school, and he wants to interview me. Okay, I'm actually have to think about this. Alright, it's open on my phone. I'll keep it open, and so when I get to it, yours will be the first one I answer. Appreciate that. And if you want to do a live interview or just talk on the phone in a Google Meet, just let me know, that's fine too. Eli Riddle, also tell your parents I'm not creepy, I appreciate that. Alright, Eli Riddle says, "Hey Clay, thanks for painting me in the right or pointing me in the right direction. A for-profit company taking advantage of widows." Yes, absolutely. Burns me up, so only charge for harbor widow money. Yeah, insane. That case is insane. Can federal versus can federal US public service officers file VA claims? No. Only those accredited by the VA can technically file VA claims, which are VSO reps from an accredited VSO, claims agents, or attorneys. That's about or you. Thanks for all you do? Question mark. Thank you for coming to the stream? Question mark. All right, Mr. Pink, what's the best way to become TDIU, vocational officer, or through VA lawyer? Yeah, neither. Neither are the best. Okay. You're gonna need evidence that shows your disabilities keep you from work. You're gonna have to have a history of not being able to work. The VA is gonna get that information. They're gonna request it from your employers. They're gonna ask that you get it, and if you don't, they're gonna get it. And if they don't, then they will continue with that claim. But there's no best way to get TDIU. The best way is to have the evidence. Can turn off Coco Melon now. Okay. Scott Wool says, "Does an issue that starts during AGR, National Guard orders need an LOD, or will having it in your medical records be enough?" Your medical records is enough, so to speak. Now, you don't need an LOD. It's gonna help your case, I can tell you that. It'll make things a bit easier. But you have it in your medical records, that's good. Okay, at least you have that. How common are reevaluations? Heaven almighty, to be honest with you, not that common. Depends what we're talking about. If you are just now leaving service, you're gonna have your mental health reevaluated pretty fast within 2 years, I believe. Um, so that's definitely a thing. As far as other conditions, like, let's say sleep apnea, for instance, that's probably not gonna have a reevaluation, probably. Talk about your skin conditions, probably gonna have a reevaluation, especially if you're on treatment. So if you're service connected for acne, you're taking Accutane, that will literally cure your skin condition, okay? So it just depends. There's that's just 2 small examples. There are tons of factors that go into that. To answer your question, how common? I guess as common as they need to be. Alex, my brother Civ, what up? Thank you for always replying to my emails. We're gonna send you another one if you don't mind. Yeah, send me emails, okay. Basically for my lower back denials and a Nexus physical therapist is willing to sign. Okay, that's good. Now, what are the qualifications of your physical therapist? Do they have a medical background? Okay. Some MDs do become PT for some reason. If not, that Nexus is pretty low on the poll there, but I'm assuming it's free. If that's the case, power to you. 80% with 70% PTSD. Yes. So one, you know what? Let's do this together, just so you don't think I'm absolutely insane. Let's go look at qualifying for TDIU. We'll do that together. For the Googles, we'll put in VA TDIU. This is not going to take long at all. Let's put it wrong. All right. Are we looking at the same thing? Okay. It says both of these must be true. All right. We're talking about TDIU right now. IU. You have at least one service-connected disability rated at 60 or more, which you have because you're at 70% for PTSD. With at least one rated at 40, you don't have, or more disabling combined a rating of 70, which you don't have. And there's an and statement, not an or. You can't hold down a steady job that supports you financially. So based off of that, you do not qualify for TDIU because you're at 70% with PTSD, something for 80. Okay. Now, let me know what that last 10% is. Okay. That might change that. But I'm willing to bet you don't qualify. Could be wrong. All right. Too late to add SMCK secondary to PTSD. No, it's not. Have a C&P exam next week for back. Over a year since ITF. Just got my SDRs after a year. Wait. A year? That sucks. I'm sorry about that. But no. I'm assuming you are on medication for PTSD. If that's the case, SMCK is very, very easy. It'll probably just be pretty easy claim, and I would submit that now. If you're talking about getting your SMCK backdated to your current claim that's ongoing, that's probably not gonna happen, but I'd still submit the claim. Okay. JD got you. Submitted direct service connection for, yep, PFS, diagnosed at previous C&P that they never made a decision on. VA referred to OptumServe and asked for an opinion on need secondary to existing service connection in the lumbar. Does VA still tend to dismiss the back to knee connection top down? It's not necessarily the VA, okay? It's the C&P examiners, but you're right. Generally speaking, it's ground up, right? So your feet will cause ankles, will cause knees, will cause back, will cause neck versus top down. Not saying it can't be, but generally speaking, that's the way it rolls. Can your back cause your knee conditions? Absolutely. Can your knee cause ankle conditions? Absolutely. Now the question is, will the C&P examiner see it that way? If I'm a betting man, okay, I'm not gonna bet on that being a positive Nexus, personally. I won't. I'm hoping that it is, but if denied, you might wanna consider a private opinion for that, and I know that sucks. Alright, can a formal traditional National Guard member basic tech school 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year, file claims less than 24? Yes. Yes. How do you find my email? I'll type it up in the chat right now, TheCivDiv at gmails.com. I need to make another banner as my email. Yep, big time. The answer is yes. Dennis says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream." Question: Is a Wounded Warrior Project VSO rep legit? Yeah, they are an accredited VSO. They have a VSO reps. They are legit. Now, are they good? That depends on the VSO rep themselves. There are good VSO reps. There are bad VSO reps. I made a video about that not that long ago. And you know what? I'll just drop that in the chat because we're just in the chat drop mood today. Um, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm really tired of seeing thumbnails and videos that are just completely baloney. Okay, just giving people bad advice. All right, here we go. This is that video about bad VSO. All right, cocoa melon. Yeah, my daughter loves the cocoa melons. Okay. Paul says, shrewd voice. That's funny. My VSO wants to file 3 to 4 claims. 1, I'm diagnosed. 4, others testing or records waiting to be received. Should I file them all together or separate? Well, so you have an intent to file, so you have time to gather the evidence. That's what I would recommend first. Getting diagnosed for all those and then submitting them. Giving the VSO the benefit of the doubt, your records speak for themselves, assuming. If that's the case, then submit them all. If not, I would recommend just to hold off a month or 2, get the evidence. That's what the intent to file is for. ITFs are made so we can gather the evidence. We as in veterans. Oh, snap, I didn't ask him that question, and yes, it's great. Thank you for replying. All right. Sergeant G55, what up? I have lower back pain from being an MP in the Air Force. Boo. I'm joking. I didn't complain about it until 7 months after separation. I have complained about it every year since. Can this still be connected? Yes, it can. You argue weekends every year you're out. I can tell you that. When do you leave service? That's what I want to know. But yes, I think your evidence is pretty strong. Your first complaint was within that 1-year window. That's good. Now we're talking like 20 years ago. That's a little different. We're talking like 1 or 2 years ago. 3 maybe. I think your evidence is pretty strong. Yep. All right, Stephen Gay, can I email my decision letter and evidence submitted? Stephen, thank you very much. I appreciate that. The answer to your question is you can email me whatever you want, okay? Yes, you can email me your decision letter and the evidence you submitted. Keep in mind, thank you. Appreciate that. Keep in mind that there's PII on that stuff, so black it out if you want. Now, generally speaking, people send it to me no matter what. I don't recommend that. I would definitely black out the PII. Veteran advocate, I don't know. I'm trying to reschedule. There's just some things in the air right now I'm kind of waiting on, but once I figure that out, I'll go ahead and reschedule with her. I was looking forward to that, being a Navy surgeon for sure, and an actual physician that writes Nexus letters. Veteran, surgeon, Nexus letters. That's the combination you want. But I will try. Oh, gotcha. Yep. Disgusted American female. It's funny. Hi, thank you for all you do for vets. If I'm getting SMCK due to history, yep. Is that the only SMCK I'm eligible for? I'm diagnosed with FSAD. Should I file for it? So it's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah. Quick answer: yes. Same here. 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Yes, you should file for that. All right, that's the end of the questions here. Stream for an hour and a half, impromptu stream, no big deal. Thank you. I have the 9th grader's email up. I'm going to answer this first. Thank you for coming to the stream. I appreciate it. Everyone watching, everyone that donated. Today has been absolutely insane. Thank you very much. And I'm going to play this video. If you want your photo featured on my stream intro and outro, please send me an email with the photo. I don't need context. I don't need your name. I don't need anything. Send me the photo. I'll put it into the stream and go from there. Yeah, dude, that's the record today, and pretty wild. I didn't really know what to say. All right, on that note, I'm gonna end the stream. All right, thank you very much.
Whiskey 9 Yankee 7 November Golf, over. Whiskey 9 7 November interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf. Roger, request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. November 8 to 5. And 8-7 November 2nd. 7 November, go.
I copied a while ago, one Charlie transmission that my thing used,
Never go, one Charlie, Charlie.
And 8-5, this is 7 November, Charlie.
There's my brother.
Now 1 Charlie, 7 November, go.
This is one Charlie, in reference to your last, you're Brandon 158, enter Foxtrot, Ohio, 1200 between Queens and local. Also request your unit take outbound Nexus to see if we can try to get Whiskey 9 and 8 for Pawn. It's a pleasure, all right.
And this is 7 November, Roger, stand by.
Got that?
Got it? Alright. And all units, this is 7 November Golf. My unit Alpha, Echo, X-ray Alpha Alpha in there.
One Charlie, Alpha Bravo.
Hey, I never took a dip. I forgot to take a dip.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over.
This is Whiskey 9 to go.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over.
This is Whiskey 9 to go.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo.
Negative Alpha Bravo.
And this is 7 November Golf, Roger. Request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out.
November 8 to 5,
And 8-7 November 2nd. 7 November, go.